So hello and welcome back to Let's Play American Truck Simulator. You join me for our first drive in our brand new Tesla truck. Now, I've just been doing the intro and I can't say how happy I am about the colour on this and how well it works. Because it's got very... well, it hasn't got many sort of lines, but the ones that it does have are very distinct and sharp. And with a metallic colour, it really shows it up. I believe when they released it, it was like a silver and like a matte black. But I really do think a colour just does it so much more justice. And like the contrast to the glass as well. It looks so nice with the black all over the back. As I said before, I do wish the Mod Author updates it a little bit. Maybe better tyres and wheels. But what's here, well, it works with 131 as you can see with the cables, but what's here is pretty good so far. Now on the inside, as you can see, it is fairly nice in here. We got some cup holders down there. I'm not sure what that button is, might be the hazards. The textures are pretty good for the roof lining, to be honest. There's no sort of low textures there. We've got, don't know what that is. Always wear seatbelt and something to do with airbags. We've got the interior light. If I just switch it on, it's around here somewhere. Can't quite tell where it is. Shame it isn't sort of set in the center because all the lights over here. But it's not too bad. Just turn it off again. We've got, why is it doing that? Oh, I've been awkward. Yeah, we got the screens over here, all the info. As you can see, we've done 5 miles in it. I've just driven it over here to quickly get this trailer. Got the sat-nav set in. We're going up to, so we're going down to Roswell here, 244 miles. But in this thing, we'll probably get there in 5 minutes. It's that quick. Let me just adjust my seat a tad. I feel a bit too high. Bring the steering wheel down and probably adjust the field of view. Feel a bit, I can never get my seating position right in this because it's so different and you've got to get used to the central driving position. As I said in my review, those mirrors are still buggy and don't work properly. Neither do those, but we do have the little ones on the displays, which is fairly useful. Yeah, let's get this thing turned on. As you may have heard by that little beep, and we're all attached, I believe. So let's get going. Silently pull away. It is pretty weird, to be honest. The loudest thing is probably my force feedback, followed by the indicator sound. Just getting out of there gently. It is a bit weird getting used to pretty much a lacking sound. As I said in the previous episode, you don't get a very good sense of speed in this. So you will get quite a few speeding fines. Let's just pull away from the lights quick. There we go. Foot down, 20, 30, speed limit. It's, how heavy is this trailer? 13 tons, so it's not a massively heavy trailer. See the mirrors then? It's a bit annoying. It's not a massively heavy trailer, but 13 tons on the back, and it can still do probably 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. It's pretty impressive. Right, we need to move over. Let's put our foot down, and this thing gets moving. I don't know if you can hear as well the little sort of electric motor buzz, which I really do like. It's not that it's got absolutely no sound, this thing. It definitely does have a sound. It's just so quiet. I know Jaguar on their I-Pace have engineered in this optional sound in one of the menus where it creates like a electric buzz on the inside through the speakers, which some people won't like, but I do believe electric is all about just having fun, really. Most people drive diesel cars, tiny engines, they're not that exciting, but an electric car, they're super responsive, fun to drive, and I find it cool. Like this little sound it makes, and it's so rapid. I mean, I think when Tesla released this truck, they said a traditional diesel truck did 0 to 60 in 15 seconds, which I do believe, and probably slower than that most of the time. This thing does 0 to 60 in 5 seconds without a trailer, which is just amazing, really. That beats most things on the road. Rio, what did that say? Rio Bravo Boulevard. It's interesting. But yeah, in this you can just turn the cruise control on, and you just get amazing views of the scenery. It's so cool. Really is. I don't know if SCS are going to be working on this. I think when the truck was released, they did tweet about it. It'd be awesome to see them working on it and having it in the game properly with proper infrastructure, because even though this mod is fairly good, obviously we don't have the infrastructure like all the charging places. You have to go and fill it up at a normal petrol station, which sort of takes away from the experience and brings it back down to I don't know how to sort of say it. Yeah, ruins the experience. But yeah, it is so quiet. Definitely, if you're taking on this, driving this on a long journey in this game, you're probably going to want some music, because it can get a little bit boring, to be honest. I mean, all you hear is the tyre roar and the wind noise. That's it. You hardly hear it. The drivetrain or anything. It's kind of weird. There are some things that I don't like. Firstly, you may not believe me, but I find this really hard to keep in lane. Oh, what's that? Socorro? I don't know. It's really hard to keep in lane. I don't know if this is just the mod's fault, but I feel something is not quite aligned. I'll show you properly when we pull up. I'll find like a parking space or something. But it feels like the interior is not aligned with the exterior of the truck, or the steering wheel is slightly also, it's not the microphone, it's slightly over to one side. So I'll try and show you in the mirrors. Let me just get past this guy. Careful, I'm not getting a speeding ticket. I just saw the cop and I just accelerated hard. Right, we need to get past him now. What's that car doing? That was the retarder, by the way. Still got the cruise control on. But you see what I mean? We're doing 70 around here. It just felt like we were doing 30. How can that be 65 around there? That didn't feel safe at that speed. Probably going to be hard to show you now what I was going to try and say, but if you have a look, when you sort of position the wheel in the centre of the road, equidistant between the two lines, you're over to the right. I mean, if we try and do it here, so you see now how the steering wheel's pretty much in the middle of the two lines. If you look at that screen, you can see how close we are to the right line. If you look over there, just look how far away we are. I mean, it's quite a difference when you get outside as well. That's probably the hardest thing to show you outside when we're moving, but Yeah, I'll show you at the end when I find a parking space just how out it is, because it is quite confusing. And also that mirror is on the screen, that one's sort of has got a narrow field of view, and that one's got a wide angle. So it's really sort of difficult to sort of maneuver around town and stuff. You sort of have to rely on the massive windows, and if you don't have something like Trackir and have to use your mouse, I'm guessing that would be quite annoying. But the view out the front's great. It's just the alignment I'm finding a bit unusual. It's hard to maintain the speed as well, because it's so not twitchy but responsive with that instant torque. I mean, if I put my foot down slightest, we're doing what, 70, 75, I'm hardly touching it, and we get a speeding ticket. Is there a cop behind me? See those mirrors then? It's a bit annoying. It's very quick steering as well. I mean, look at that, tiny adjustments, and it's really sort of darting over the road, which is probably not what you want in something like this. I'd want a little bit more play and dead zone in the wheel. I know you can put in a dead zone in the options, but it's sort of not great, to be honest. You get, it's really sort of digital, you get nothing and then suddenly you're moving over, so I don't really like the option dead zone. So yeah, because I mean, look at that, tiny little adjustments like that, and you're sort of pointing over the road. This is very rocky, look at this. It's a bit random. Not sure what's going on there, but yeah, just look at the sky. With the PEVA weather mod, it's very nice. I'm guessing there's a speed limit coming up, 45, okay. Brakes are very good as well. I had to reduce my braking intensity because they're just so grabby. But you just gotta love the sound of this thing, or the lack of sound. It's just so cool. And the way you pull away harmlessly. We get around this guy, that's the question. It's double yellow lines. Oh no. There's a truck coming. I just love the little buzz. This is one of the things about having a central driving position. It's great for visibility out the front, but when you're sort of going to pass someone like that, you can't sort of edge over like you can on normal, for example, left-hand drive trucks, or if you're in the UK, right-hand drive. You have to sort of put the nose of the truck out into the oncoming lane to see what's coming, which is a bit dangerous, to be honest. Like, I could only overtake safely then because there was a bend and I could see around. If there wasn't a bend, I would have to use, I don't know, the force to pull out. But luckily you've got the power with this thing to just pass anyone. You saw then, if I was in like a normal diesel truck, that would have been 10 to 15 second overtake. In this it was a few seconds and we were back in our lane. So there are advantages and disadvantages to that, this. I believe also one of the main reasons Tesla chose to have the central driving position, not just because it's cool, but also as safety. I believe it's the most safe place to be. Obviously you got loads of protection either side. What's that? Oh dear. What's going on here? Tree in the road. It's not very good mapping by SCS. Right, as we come to a stop then, I'm just going to do a quick acceleration burst. to show you how quick this thing is. So we're stationary now. Foot on the brake, foot on the accelerator, and go. And look at this thing go. It's got a trailer as well. It's just amazing. But the good thing about the sharp steering is when you come to sort of fun roads like that, it's really, really nice to drive around. It's not really like any truck in this game, to be honest. Right, is there anything coming? This is where I like having a central driving position and pretty much nothing in front of you, because you can see everything at junctions. No, I was about to go then, but I think there's a gap coming up. Yeah, that guy's turning. And quickly pull out. See, in a diesel truck you'd struggle to pull out of there, but with this, see, we're pretty much already up to the speed limit. There we go, 70. So good. Let's pull back in this lane. You've got to love that. I mean, some people don't like the way electric cars and trucks drive. They find them boring, but how's that boring? I mean, imagine what that would feel like in a truck. 0 to 60 in 5 seconds in a car is just... You have to put your head on the headrest, else you would sort of hit your head back. But in this, I don't know what it'd feel like. I'm guessing it would feel like a theme park ride or something, or a train. It's just amazing, really. And the momentum this thing must carry down the road. Because it is quite heavy, I believe, with all the batteries and motors and stuff. And the fact that it's a truck anyway. Looks like we're turning in here though. See, we're still speeding. It holds onto its speed nicely. It's a very electric way of driving, which I wouldn't really expect them to implement into the game very well, because it's not really supported for that. But yeah, you don't get much engine braking. I would absolutely beat all these cars off the off the line. But you see how... I mean, look how vertical the front is. There's virtually no overlap, and you can't really see it. But from the front, it looks like it sort of drags down a bit, but yeah, it's very vertical. Especially if you look where you're sitting, there's not much in front of you at all. Right there, dude. Oh, for God's sake. Right, let's go. And we're turning in here. It's very hard to reverse this truck as well, especially with the dodgy mirrors and that one being zoomed in, that one being wide angle. Right, where we going? Oh no, not there. I hate reversing in that spot. I always hit the roof. Let's turn this thing around. Imagine the cost of replacing this windscreen. I would not like to get a crack on it. Alright, let's try and do this. Right, yeah. And look at the visibility of that. So good. And there's no overlap, like in a bullnose truck with the engine in front of you, that would be very difficult, but with this, with hardly any overlap, it's completely fine. Come on, it's got to be in, surely. Yep, there we go. Put it back into neutral or park, and you can hear the little beeps to turn it off. There we go. So good. I think that's one of the first time, well, one of the few times that I've parked that first try. See, in some circumstances like that, it can be useful with the central driving position and the lack of dash. To level 20 now. We're now professional. 12,600, which is pretty nice. 556 XP. High value cargo. Got a bit more for that. 245 miles. Yeah, that annoys me being there. If the SES do implement that, I don't know what they're going to put there. Like ranged used or something. I don't know. Right, what we're going to do now, we're not going to do fuel economy because that's rubbish. Could do another fragile cargo, long distance. I don't really like doing them over 1,000 miles anyway. I could do, what's that one? Flammable solids. Maybe. And we get 5% increase on them. Just in time. Let's just do that, and then we've got all our hazardous cargo points. Right, let's see if there's anywhere where we can pull over rather than just dumping it in this yard. I believe this is the town where I had that, or where the aliens landed or something. UFO. There we go, you get the little beep again. And let's pull off. I do also wonder how safe these trucks are to pedestrians. Because imagine crossing a road and not hearing this thing coming. It's a lot of mass to slow down. Right, can we go right? I think we can. I might just go right because it's a... Put our foot down a bit. Right, here we go. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and that's pretty much how much it'll do. In fact, it might be limited to 85. Yeah, 85. It won't do any more than that. My foot is on the floor. Which you don't really need to go much quicker than this in this game anyway. I think the Nevada top speed limits is like 80. So yeah, you're alright at the speed. But it's definitely limited. Probably with the gearing, to be honest. Because you can see how, if I just slow down a bit, put my foot down again, you can see how it's still got a lot more to give. Maybe if we had like 7 gears or 8. Or if there were more spaced apart, maybe. Because if I just slow down here, you can see how it hardly really needs to go down to first. It's pretty much in 6th all the time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So yeah, some of the gears are a bit useless in this case. Yeah, 55 limit. Let's just slow it down. Oh, there's a cop car as well, so we can't floor it away from the lights. State police. Haven't really noticed the New Mexico number plates or license plates, as you guys say in America. They're kind of cool with the yellow and red and green around the edge. Come on, let's get going. You wouldn't even catch me in that thing. That's the funny thing about it. Imagine a police chase with one of these as a getaway truck. Like massive bull bars on the front. The only thing that would stop it is the battery running out of charge. I might get into this lane actually and be cheeky. As we're going to be behind that truck all the time. There's 3 identical cars. No, there's a Magnum up front. Yep, we got, got another Sweden. Is that 3 today? I think it might be. Yeah, if you're probably starting out in this game, probably wouldn't recommend one of these. You're gonna be bankrupt with the amount of speeding fines. Now, do you think we can get through all these lights in one? That's the question, because they should be timed if they're done correctly. I don't know if we've got to keep to the speed limit for it to work, but we'll see. So this one's green. I'm just going to hold it back a bit. 20. He's slowing down. Yeah, they're not perfectly timed, to be honest. Right, now the next one's gone. Oh, another one! How can he see I'm speeding? He's behind another truck. How can he see from there? That's what I want to know. Right, come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's get going. There we go, I'm just going to put my cruise control on, else I'm going to get another ticket. Oh, he's stuck at the lights now. Oh yeah, I was going to say I was going to find a parking space to show you the alignment. Right, let's pull in here. Right, so you've got this parking space here. If we just try and align myself. So that to me, in fact, no, hang on. Let me just pull that back a bit. That to me looks aligned. The wheel is equally spaced between the 2 lines, as you can see. However, when I get on the outside, you can see how far over to the right we are. So yeah, here we look fine, but from the outside we're not quite fine. Now I've just noticed, if you look at that little, in fact no, I was about to say I thought, if we get on the inside, I thought this little thing here was the, it's probably best if I use, this is awkward where my microphone is, sorry. I thought that thing there was where the wipers connect to. But yeah, you can see we're in the centre of the truck from the seating position, but it feels like we're over like that or something. It's kind of weird because the centre, if we just line it up from the outside, the centre is like that, which now look, we're all the way over here, which doesn't feel right at all. I mean, that's centered. So yeah, it's weird that one. There definitely are some things wrong with this mod that I'm sure can be fixed easily. It was just maybe, I don't know how, I've never really experienced that before. It's probably because of the central driving position. Maybe the game's not developed for that. I don't know, it's weird. But anyway, if you guys have enjoyed that video, please do give me a like, subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Goodbye.